Welcome back, everybody. Sive Morten here with the Forex Peace Army.com. Let's take a look again on the euro currency. So actually, well, guys, we've got recently a really nice picture on euro currency. The hand shorters that we talked about has worked. So not occasionally we said that it looks really attractive. It's temptational, so it's a really big temptation to take a part with this trade. But at the same time, it's just a part of the big picture where we have lots of really, I would call it, nuances. So mostly they're related to the bearish side. What particular the major tricky situation is because in general we have in progress the potentially bearish pattern, and market now stands on the point where it has to turn to the downside to keep the pattern valid. So we do not want to see that market will return back to the top between the first and second drive, right? So it will be, well, not quite bearish in this case. And that in general helps us and makes overall analysis not as difficult. So in fact, what we need to do is just to keep an eye on what's going on here and try to identify the bearish signs. Why we will get it, that might be the confirmation that we're going here. If by some reason, because recently upward action was relatively fast, we will see upward continuation and market returning back to the top, that might tell that we should be prepared for further upward action. So in this case, this upward performance will be out of the normal bearish behavior. It will be not rational from the bearish point of view, which means that it's not bearish anymore, right? So currently, with this recent upward action, we've got the grabber, the same grabber we have on the dollar index and actually on the futures on a 10-year bond. So this is the dollar index. You can see the same grabber here stands. And on December futures on the euro currency, we also have this grabber. I'm not 100% sure that it will work. It might be just a byproduct of this recent upward session and occasionally just combined with a closing of the time period is forming the grabber here, because bearish grabber here is not quite corresponds to the pace of the upward action, but still this pattern have to be considered, maybe not as a major factor, but at least it exists. And with the light of the coming things that we intend to do on intraday charts, it makes sense. Now let's go in further to the downside. On the 4 time frame chart, this hand shoulders that we discussed works really nice, but currently it's not enough to confirm the bullish ambitions on the euro. Here's what's actually the major problem stands, that to confirm the bullish way, market has to complete at least the hand shoulder shape, return back to the neckline, and start preparing for breakouts to make it upward action. If it will not do this and turn down, that will be confirmation of the bearish sign. It's because of the 3 drive pattern that we have on the daily chart. So now you understand how important this actually area is and what we actually need to do in the current situation. On the hourly chart, you could see that with this upward action, this minor hand shoulders is completed and, or better to say, reached 1590 resistance. This is last 618 resistance on the way up. We have, of course, this is not COP, this is XOP. It's just a typo. So we have the XOP slightly above the market. So I wouldn't treat the action and completion at XOP as a breakout. I would treat this area between the 1590 and 1607, 1610 as an area that we need to keep an eye on for the bearish signs. If we will see it, and we'll see market turning down, start reversing here, that's probably the points to consider for a possible short entry, because it could tell that general daily picture still could lead us to a downside action. It will be a thin market in the nearest 2 sessions. I don't know what will happen. Euro will keep trading just because the holiday is only in the United States, so we will see. But it's very important points. Today, right now, I do not see a lot of things to do because market has not completed yet the target. We do not see yet the clear bearish signs, clear bearish patterns here, so we do not have the signal for position taking. Yes, it's minor divergence, but it's nothing. And today probably makes sense to see what will happen, what response will happen around this area. Absolutely the same picture stands on Great British Pound. So you could see that on a 4-hour time frame chart, consolidation that we talked about has been broken. Obviously, it was some external data released, so we can see this breakout. On the hourly chart, market is forming the pennant. This suggests a possible further upward action. It's the same as in euro currency, and possible a bit higher action. But at the same time, if you take a look at the daily chart, you could see that market stands in the same tight bearish flag consolidation. And if even it will complete the minor grabber that has been formed here on the bottom and taken out of this top, it doesn't mean yet that we will get the reversal to the upside. So this potential pattern is still bearish, and the bearish context is not erased yet here. On other markets, what we also could consider, on the 10-year bonds, it also stands at a critical level, I would say, for the 10-year bonds. It's the same as the euro stands for critical for setup of the free drive, and between the bullish and bearish scenarios. The same I would say about the 10-year bonds, because it stands on the bottom of the right arm, and if hand short starts failing, obviously euro currency will keep going higher. If, of course, this will not be the reason of the safe haven demand. This will be just the drop on the yields. It will make pressure on the dollar, and euro should get the support. But if hand short starts working and market will reverse up, everything will return back to its own. So euro will keep dropping, dollar starts rising, and so on. So as a bottom line, so we talk a lot of today. So on the bottom line, currently, let's keep watching. Currently, no setup has been created yet. Market stands at very important points, but we need to see some hints before we make the decision. So hopefully today, tomorrow we will get it and take a look again what is going on tomorrow.